This is Samantha Govea. Samantha, how old are you?
I'm 19.
19.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Tell me a little bit about your background. You know, what brought you here? There was some tough times?
Before I came here, I was actually at North Dallas High School, and my freshman year, I had, I guess that's where I fell. I was hanging out with the wrong crowd. I was getting into fights a lot. And I met this coach. He got me into wrestling. It helped a lot. I actually stayed in school. And over a situation, they sent me to Village Fair. So,
what's Village Fair?
Village is like a detention center. Yeah, for kids. So they sent me over there for a while. I got out early for good behavior. And I came back to North Dallas, but they started, for my classes, they'd say I wasn't in class. So I never got my credits, even though I was attending. And I was like, what's the point of going to school and going to class if they're not giving me the credits? So I just transferred over here. So.
What was going on at home?
At home? Well, I never really was at home. I was always working. I was like, from work, it would be like to school, and then like I'll spend like the night at home, and then like I really wouldn't be at home. It was just like a lot of conflicts. Yeah.
Okay. So once you got here, what happened?
I actually liked the schedule for the morning because I was actually working in the afternoon, and so it would be school, wake up, come here. I actually liked it because a lot of teachers were, they're very helpful. So, and then they like actually pushed me a little bit more. So, yeah.
I love that little laugh. Okay, I want to go back a little bit because were you living with your parents, your biological parents, or were you in foster care, or a little bit of both, or?
Well, by the time I was born, my mom, she had got locked up. She was in the penitentiary. She used to sell drugs. And she got caught, she had me. It's me, my two older brothers, and my sister, so it was 4 of us. We've been back and forth in foster care. That's when we met the family I was telling you about, Jana and Davis. They're very good with us. And we're actually going to stay with them, but my mom ended up getting out, and, she took us back. I started living with my uncles when I was 7. They're my little brother's uncles because of their dad. And so they started fighting over custody, because they would take care of me. And so I've been living with them since I was 7. And I'd go visit my mom for a month, or like a day out of the month, and then I come back, and it was just like back and forth. Yeah, and then after I was like 13, I was just like on my own. Like they were still there, but I was just working, and I had like a lot of other issues going on. Yeah.
So who told you about Dallas Camp?
I actually had friends that came here. So they were like, it's pretty good, they actually help. And a lot of the students that, a lot of people told them, oh, you're not going to graduate, they actually graduated from here. And I was like, well, why not give it a shot, instead of not going to school, why not just try it out and see how it goes.
What was in your mind? What were you thinking? Were you thinking about dropping out? Were you thinking, I don't want to be that person that drops out? What were you thinking?
To me, school was always, it's like no matter where, I always went. I mean, I can't say I was always in class, but I was always in school. I mean, for me, that was my get out, Like, I'd prefer to be at school than to be at home. And so I was like, for me, the way I had it set up in my mind was going to school and graduating was the only way to get out of, wherever I was at, And so I was like, I didn't really have a choice, to me. So I was like, I have to go. So I was like, I can't just, quit. I was like, so where did I go for all those years? So yeah.
So you seem, I mean, I've been around a long time, and I've seen a lot of girls like you. And I used to get in fights when I was in high school too, so I know where you're coming from. But you seem really smart. Do you think you're smart? Do you think you're?
Even in middle school, I mean, like besides the fights I had and the, discipline issues, the teachers, I mean, they told me like, you're smart. You just talk a lot and you hang around with the wrong people. But I mean, the people I hung out with was more because we were going through the same things and we had a lot of the same situations, And it was kind of good to, to like know that, there's someone else going through what you're going through, and they kind of, like they're supporting you in a way, besides that they're going through their own issue and they're dealing with it a certain way.
Have you matured since you've been here?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I don't want to say I hung out with a lot of gang members because my family, they're, just brought into it. And, I actually quit, I quit, everything. I was in a, rough path. I did, use drugs at a point. And I quit everything. I stopped smoking, drinking, I started, my main priority was school and work, And then as soon as I found out I was pregnant, I was coming here. And, the teachers were really supportive with it too. Instead of, talking down and be like, oh, well, you're pregnant, you're so young, this and that. They were more, okay, well, let's see what we could do. So, as soon as I found out I was pregnant too, it was just, you know what, I'm not doing it just for me now, I'm doing it for my daughter too. Because actually before I had her, I had a little boy, but I had a miscarriage. And a lot of teachers, they helped me through it too. So that was kind of, helpful.
What's the most rewarding experience that you've had here at the school?
Oh, that's difficult. I guess it's just being surrounded by people that you could actually say that actually care about you. Yeah. Because growing up, I didn't really have that. Or the person told me, oh, don't be doing that, or don't be out there, focus, and that's what I actually had here. Yeah.
Okay, now let's go on to the Friedmans. Just overall, what do you think of Janelle and Larry Friedman? And I'll get to some specifics.
Well, I met them a couple times when we go to the internships, and they're very great people. We heard a story about, his life, and, how he actually got to where he was. And, I thought it was pretty great. I really did. And the opportunities they give us is, anywhere else, we're not going to get the same opportunity, especially from where we come from. And, our neighborhood, nobody's going to be like, oh, okay, well, come over here and come work here or come see how it is. It's not like that, But to actually have somebody that's going to be like, okay, well, you know what? We see what you're trying to do, what you're trying to become in life. So, okay, let's give you this opportunity to just get an insight of it. So it was very great. They're very great people.
That was awesome. Oh my gosh, that was great. I mean, okay. Do you want to be a lawyer?
Mm-hmm. I actually.
You are doing something very interesting, aren't you?
Huh?
I
I was working with the judge Juan Hassel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With the different events he has, for the community, we did. Yeah, we had some in West Dallas that we did some events. They had bikes. He was giving out bikes to the kids. They had raffles. And he actually does a lot for the community too. He's more on the people side. So whenever they try to, kick you out, or if the kids are not attending school for some reason, you know, he's there to be like, okay, well, you know, this is happening, and, you know, we're trying to help them so they could, you know, keep going. So he's really helpful over there, and he helps a lot. So
His wife was the chairman of our board of trustees until recently for Texan Scan. Delia, did you meet Delia? Hassel?
no,
Okay.
I've only met him. Well, it's because he actually married a couple of my family members too, and I have cousins that work with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we talked about the legal internship, she jumped on it.
Ah, because you already had had this experience with
Yeah.
Hassel. Okay, very good. I'm good. Did you want to add anything else? Is there anything I didn't ask you that you wanted to say?
I want you to tell about the opportunity, the transition opportunity that is that okay too?
Which transition opportunity? Sure.
Well, that we pushed them all to apply to El Centro, and she followed up on it.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Mm.
Okay, so what are you doing after graduation?
After graduation, we don't start college till August, so that's great. So right now I actually have, you know, time to work, to find a babysitter while I'm going to go to college. So I got accepted to El Centro. You know, I'm glad because I'm going to do my first 2 years there, and then I'm going to transfer to UNC to do my last 2 years. And I actually got accepted to this other program. It's called Europe. That it's business or IT. So you choose one and you go to class, you know, they pay you to go to school too. And what you do is, you know, they teach you, they give you, you know, like how to present yourself in business, you know, how to talk to other people, you know, like different business techniques. And they give you credits. So those credits, you can actually use them for college. So they give them to you for, since I'm gonna take business, I'm getting a heads up on my credits.
Awesome.
So,
Very cool.
and after that, after I think it's the first 2 years, they end up getting you a job with actually, you know, big businesses.
Okay.
So it's great.
Is Janelle Friedman like a role model for you?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Huh? It's, I don't know how to explain it. She's, I don't know my words, like, it's like just all in my head. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Let me see if I can help you along. Is she a role model because you've been around her, or is it a role model because you and her have really connected in some way?
I see her as a role model because she's, I've seen a lot of people that are up there and, you know, in the community, and they don't normally give back because they want to give back, you know. They give back to, you know, look good. And to see them, you know, doing what they're doing for the community and for what they're doing for Dallas Can, I mean, you know, it's good, you know, because they're doing it from their heart, not from their pockets, you know. And to see them actually, you know, trying to help and wanting to help, I mean, it's good because what I'm trying to do, you know, with the nonprofit business, to give it back to the community, to help what, you know, what I didn't have. So, I mean, to see another female doing it, I mean, it's great.
You'll be there. You'll be there.
One thing, if you can tell them a direct message, a thank you message, what would you say to them?
And look at the camera.
Look
when
at
you do
the-
it. Yeah. How would you say thank you to Janelle and Larry Friedman?
I'd say, I mean, there's really no words to describe the opportunity that y'all gave me, because like I said, anywhere else, nobody else would have gave me the opportunity. And I mean, I'm getting this one-in-a-lifetime experience that, I mean, is really made a change in me, is letting me see things from a different point of view. And I mean, I know that later on, I'm gonna really be using the advice y'all gave me from the different lawyers to prosecutors, you know. I mean, it's very nice. For, like, not even just what you're doing for me, but what you're doing for everybody. Thank you.
Okay, but I want to make you do that one more time because you're going to say thank you in your own words.
I want to say that there's really no words to explain, you know, the opportunities that you're giving me and the way that you're helping me. Well, not just me, but everybody, because the opportunities that y'all are giving us, we don't normally get them, you know, from anywhere else. You know, there's not people trying to be like, okay, you know, come over and we're going to help you. You know, we don't really get people like that. But to see someone that's actually trying to help us, it's very nice. Thank you.
Got it.
Very good. Good. Vanessa Garcia, who's 18. Tell me a little bit about your growing up years.
My growing up years have been somewhat like a roller coaster. It would be up and down. And at the time, I would be super distracted going on with family issues. And it was unhealthy until our grandparents stepped it in. And from there, school-wise, I also had been up and down until I came here.
Okay, so how did you come to the can? What made that happen?
What made it happen was an incident that had happened, and the people that was also involved in the incident were still going to the school. So me and my family thought it was best to move somewhere else where I wouldn't be so stressful or distracted. And that's how I came across Dallas Can. And starting out when the school really took an influence in my life, where I started getting on focus, getting on track, and noticed what was really important, because the teacher actually really helps you with college and everything, most like a regular high school would.
And what was the difference? What did you see the difference from your old high schools to coming here?
That all the teachers were like really involved. They cared about you, they asked about you. Even the principals will be involved.
So from the beginning, what was the difference?
The difference was how much the school would be involved in your life, or how they really care and help you with whatever problem comes up. And you'll feel comfortable, like it's a second home. So it's like basically a big family.
A little bit of noise.
A little bit of noise in that? Okay.
It's,
We'll wait till
We've
some.
got a, they're changing classes probably right now.
So let's turn it off.
Okay.
Let's pause. Let's sense of family. That's what all the kids say. I mean, we hear that so often. Now let's go to the etiquette program.
Okay.
Okay, tell me this story. Something that Janelle Friedman taught you, you actually applied. Okay, tell me the story.
Okay. While joining etiquette class, Miss Giselle and Miss Leslie was also there as our teachers. And every time when we go out, we always pretend to do interviews, mock interviews, where you meet someone that you're not expecting, but it's always good to present yourself in a certain way. And one day my mom had walked in for an interview, but I happened to be with her, and the manager noticed me too. So I used that method to talk to talk with the manager, and it helped me. Now I have the job there.
Okay,
And
I'm gonna have you tell the story a little bit again, and tell it in a little bit more detail in terms of, okay, let's start with this. And this is my question to you, okay? I want you to tell me about Janelle's etiquette program, but you also have had this love of animals, correct?
yes.
Okay, so tell me the story.
Well, when I joined etiquette class, I wasn't how I was now. I was really quiet. I didn't really spoke much, shy. But going there, I met different classmates from different backgrounds and story. And from there, we just got comfortable. I felt comfortable. And meeting Miss Leslie was even more comfortable, and then Miss Giselle. It felt like having second moms. And every time that we come to class, they always gives us lessons about interviews and how we're supposed to act, just in case when we go in an interview or we just meet someone and we really have interest in.
So what did they teach you?
They taught us how to talk to them without being nervous, or to show signs that you're actually interested with a certain way, not to like present yourself in a bad way, to show yourself confidence, so the person or the boss that interview will be like, okay, we like this person. and they taught us how to dress for an interview, or if we're just going to a place that we have interest, to always dress professionally, and how we should always keep connected with people too. Good networks, because it comes helpful when it comes to getting that certain position you want.
So you went to an interview with your mother at the zoo.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
When I went with the interview with my mom at the zoo, he was asking my mom questions, and then he found interest on me because my mom said that I was also looking for a job. And since I was sitting there, he's like, okay, well, let me ask you a couple of questions. And it was unexpected. So I was a little bit nervous, but I remember it's kind of bad to show them that you're nervous. So he asked if I was in high school, and I told him about Dallas Can and how my schedule was. And then he asked what was I really interested. And I told him that I love working with animals. And from there, we were talking about it. Like, if you happen to work here, they also help people with programs where you can actually work with animals. And from there, I told him my experience and working at Dickies and other jobs, and it came helpful too. He's like, oh, so you have done cashiering before? And I said yes. He was being honest with us because he wanted us to be honest with him too. So the interview lasted for an hour. And from there, he told me that they will call me or text my mom to see if I could come and do a background check. And within 2 days, I got the call. And I was really shocked because I never thought I would work at the Dallas Zoo. So I got really happy. And that day I was also luckily that I was dressed professional too.
Thanks to the things you learned from Janelle.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. There was one little part in there that I wanted to ask you about. You said, is it a 5-second rule? What
it
is
was
that? Can you explain that?
like 5 seconds in the elevator, like if the elevator randomly stops or you just meet someone, but it's like this is your chance to like actually take that step in life, that you just say everything that you're skilled in, your name, what are you currently doing now, and you tell them what you love and what you can do. If the person happens to work in that area or the place you want to be at. So it's like you give them your number and you talk with professionally wise to help you.
So in essence, the etiquette program is so much more than how to properly use your fork and spoon and knife, correct?
Yes.
Explain that to me in your own words.
It taught you how to have manners and to be ladylike too. And they also threw in other things that I didn't think it was going to be in class, because recently we were all also having interviews and stuff, and they wanted to help us with that too. So when we didn't go out, we were in class talking about our life or what's going on. So we all helped each other like a family and supported one another.
Awesome. What have I not asked you that you wanted to make sure you said today?
How is it like to be at Dallas Can every day, and how it feels to be coming to school? Well, I believe that it feels nice coming to school every day, especially Dallas Can, because they help you a lot. And most high school, they just tell you what you think you're gonna do, but after you leave, they don't care anymore. And with Dallas Can, they like to stay with you in connection, see how everything's going. And throughout these 4 years, I've grown attached to Dallas Can to where I don't want to leave yet. And I'm glad for all the teachers I have met in my life. Or more like grateful coming here.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Grateful that instead of glad, I'm more grateful for actually having the opportunity to come to Dallas Can and how it possibly changed my life.
Do we have voice? Should I ask her something?
If we can say that again.
Okay, can you repeat that one more time?
That instead of being glad to come to Dallas Can, I was more grateful because everyone had an influence in my life, and that made like a 180 turn for me, or 360, and it helped me turn my life around to a point where my uncle even noticed it, and I felt really proud that my family side noticed it, because I've been trying to make my grandpa be proud of something, and since they're starting to notice, it makes me really happy. It's all because I came to Dallas Can. And having people like Miss Leslie and Mrs. Elm change us as a person and find our true self.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much.
Do you want to do the same thing as a direct thank you?
Oh, yeah. And will you please ask Samantha not to leave, because I have a thought right now. Okay. For one more shot. Okay, what we did with Samantha, and we're going to do with the other students, is this time you don't look at me, you look straight at the camera. And we're asking the students just to say thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Friedman, to Janelle. I don't know if you refer to her as Janelle or Mrs. Friedman, but it's Janelle and Larry Friedman, and they're the ones that we're honoring, and they're the ones that have done a lot for the students. So we want to give them a big thank you coming directly from you.
Okay.
Okay, so look at the camera, and I want you to look at
Thank you, Mrs. Zell and Mr. Friedman, for everything y'all done for us, and especially Dallas Can. You have truly changed it a lot for me in my life, and I appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much.
I love the way these girls giggle. Y'all are darling. Oh my gosh, let me give you a. What did you first think when someone asked you, do you want to be in an etiquette class?
I first thought about what is etiquette. What does etiquette determine as you as a human being, or as myself as, just being plain and simple. And then
Did you think you didn't need it, maybe?
Kinda, I did. I thought about that, but at the same time, I also thought too. When my grandmother told me, always take chances and opportunities, and you never know what opportunity can actually, open doors and help out. So I opened up to it, and when I came to the first session, she told me about the situations and type of things that we, do inside there. How we have a jar, and tell us about how your day was. You put something at the jar, if something about your day was really spectacular or special to you. It didn't matter what it was. It could have been a pencil, it could have been a part of eraser bud, it could have been anything. And what I've learned about being inside the ACE program is more than just about, having to do with forks and silverware and spoons, as you said. That's is being yourself, honestly, and it's just being who you are, true to yourself. They accept you no matter what, and it's better to when you know, things out here in this world that can, make you better as a person and as one. Opportunity to open up and to feel more relaxed than anything is like the greatest achievement that they make you feel, inside ACE. Taking you places, restaurants, and showing you the fine dining and finer things in life that they have and opportunities makes you want to get that hunger for it, or that feel, or that drive to do better in life. That puts you on your, on the top of your throne or the top of your chair. It makes you want to wake up every morning and say, I can do this, I can make it, because it's you who are yourself. And that's one thing that ACE has really done for me, has made me a better person as in understanding who I am and truly of me. Whatever goals I have to set, whatever goals I want to do and go get, I can just go out there and go get them, because there's no limits. The sky is the limit, but you can actually go beyond it because the sky is just an outer shell that you're just cracking into.
Wow. What do you want to do?
I honestly want to go to get older and become a vet. But the way things are now for me getting, you know, scholarships to go play basketball or scholarships for academics and universities, that's something that can really help me at the same time. But becoming a veterinarian is something that I would love to do. I've been connecting with animals for the longest since I remember. I've been through a lot of stuff with animals. You know, I've been through, you know, attacks with animals. I've been, you know, outside watching, you know, learning from them, just communicating. Becoming one with nature is something that I would love to do.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. What's the best memory you had with Miss Janelle and the etiquette program?
Our last dinner that we had for our graduation, her daughter came and spoke, and she gave a really good speech. And I had to leave because I started to cry because I thought about my sister that had passed away recently, and when she was telling her story about how the struggle was. My sister wasn't born from my mom; she was from her own family. But we brought her in as one of our own, and she passed away as a senior, and it was both of our years to go off into college and become something. And I pushed her so much, you know, to do better because I saw better inside of her instead of her being who she is now. And now, when she passed away, she was, you know, a phenomenal, magnificent person. But what Miss Janelle has done, and how grateful I am to actually have her to be, you know, as my ACE mentor and ACE, you know, teacher, is more than I can ever imagine or words can ever perceive to understand. And it's like understanding an outcome that she's done everything that I can't even imagine or what she can do more. She's given us, you know, the better hope and chances of, hey, you can do this, put your mind to it and you can go out there and get it. And that's something that I've, you know, found that's truly believable. I never had someone push me as much. Yeah, I have my mom and, you know, family, but she pushes you to a limit that you never think that you can exceed to or ever, you know, jump at.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, one more thing I want you to do. Look at the camera, don't look at me. And what we're asking all of the students to do is to say thank you to the Friedmans, to Janelle and Larry, or to Miss Janelle, however you want to do it. Just thank them for what you've been through.
I thank you for everything you've done for me in these past months. And I just thank, you know, you, your husband, and your daughter for giving a good speech and showing us a better way of life. I really appreciate it. I'm really grateful for it, and I am outright just thankful. And I hope you have a great day, and you know me as DK.
Okay, good, excellent, very good, great, awesome. Okay, so this is Mickey Rayford Coonrod. You mentioned, you know, you had come through a tough growing up years in your family, but we're starting from that part where you were already in college. What did the Friedmans do, if anything, to change your life?
Well, Larry and Janelle showed me that there was more than what I aspired to. I was completing my undergraduate degree at Texas Women's University, and I was in the paralegal program, and that's what I was going to do. I was going to be a paralegal. I was going to take the state exam, and Larry said, well, why don't you just be an attorney? And that had never occurred to me before, to consider something beyond just a support position, something I didn't even know anyone who had been to graduate school. I didn't know the first thing about it, and kind of hummed and hawed on it. And, you know, he said, you know, if you want to go to law school, me and Janelle will help you. And I talked to my foster parents, Pat and Mike Lockard, and, you know, they said, well, if that's what you want to do, then we'll support you. And I said, okay, let's do it. Let's, you know, the worst that can happen is I just decide I don't want to do it. And I took the LSAT and applied to various law schools and didn't get into my first choice. And I called Larry in tears, and he said, well, I wanted that school for you because that's what you wanted, but my son is enrolled at Thurgood Marshall School of Law and he loves it, and I think you should really consider it. Well, okay, fine. I mean, I've been turned down by 3 schools already. And through his son, Eric Friedman, I learned more about Thurgood Marshall, applied, got accepted, and ended up with an incredible experience, the best 3 years, the 3 hardest years of my education. And during that time, I not only had Eric, who was a year ahead of me in law school, helping me, I also had Larry and Janelle, who were committed to my success. And that meant if I needed money for books for law school, if I needed money for rent, for food, there was nothing that I couldn't pick up the phone and say I needed, because when they said they were committed, it wasn't, the words weren't hollow. They were committed to my success, and my graduation, they were front row, along with my foster parents and my husband, cheering, clapping for me. And for someone who grew up in, by all accounts, abject poverty, to walk across the stage in a graduate gown, getting a doctorate, it was an incredible and yet humbling moment. And I could have gotten through law school. I think I would have done fine, but having Larry and Janelle along with my foster parents, I felt safer. I wasn't worried about the other shoe dropping. I wasn't worried about where I was going to live next month. I wasn't worried about what I was going to eat, because I knew that there were people that loved me and wanted me to be happy and successful, and all I had to do was ask.
So tell me now what you have become.
So I'm currently an assistant city attorney with the city of Dallas. I am a prosecutor in the municipal section. I will be there 2 years this year. And, you know, to look at where I came from, I sometimes drive through old neighborhoods where I lived, and, you know, now I'm this, you know, working professional with a degree, with 2 degrees, working for the 9th largest city in the country as an assistant city attorney. It's incredible, because for the first time, my life is just normal, and that's all I've ever wanted, was just a normal life, and now I have it.
And it wasn't normal at home because?
My life wasn't normal because from probably I was 18 months old when I first entered the state foster care system. Both of my parents were addicted to drugs, and my mother suffered from schizophrenia, and I bounced between foster homes and family placements and group homes. I was a Buckner kid, and it just was chaos and confusion. And I think there was a part of me that always wanted more. Didn't know what that was, but I wanted more than what I had. I escaped my world into books, and I would read about normal families and, you know, grown-ups who had everyday lives, and, you know, those seeds were planted. I had a fantastic counselor in high school who approached the topic of college as if that was an option for me, and the fact that I was in foster care meant nothing to her. I was just as capable, I was just as smart as any other student in that school, and why shouldn't college have been an option for me? And it took me probably a little bit longer than I would have liked to get my degree, but once that seed was planted and I had people in my life that watered that seed, that helped me push through, I'm incredibly grateful for where I am and the people in my life that got me here.
Are you excited about Janelle and Larry being honored?
I am very excited, and, you know, I'm sure people see them and they see, you know, Larry as a successful attorney and Janelle as this beautiful, well-known party planner and incredible mom. And I see them as just 2 wonderful people with giving hearts who just want to give every kid more, to give every kid the opportunity to shine, to be successful, where those opportunities aren't always there.
Well, Well said, well said. I can't think of anything else. Good, excellent, very good,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Huh?
No, thank you straight on this.
No, not on this one, just for the students.